Got me as well.
But it's gonna.
By the way, that one goes up and down.
Okay. I think it's good.
Sweet.
Thank you.
I'm gonna check in here and make sure we're all good with that. Does that sound good? Ready to bring people in? I'm Selena. Nice to meet you. Thanks for helping today.
Of course. I got someone told me like 20 minutes before he.
Yeah, 9:30, I'm gonna go.
I'm not sure. Usually my grandma's. We're our first child was always died that year. And I had during my growing up. On your father's side, we move over one. You were the youngest. Great grandparents. Did never had to know. She was against me. She was already and Henry. Yeah. You need the lid. She's on the bed.
Hey, Art.
I met you. Good to see you. What give your name?
Just that.
Really? Doing what? Remember you used to run track? Cross country, yeah. So,
That's what it seems. That's what it seems. Some cities. Remember that picture? That picture? Oh, you too. We're next to JCC.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Welcome, welcome. My name is Saya Okimoto McKenna. I'm the head of school at Drew, and I'm a very proud administrator of what I think is a beautiful school, and I'm so glad to welcome you to campus today. Many of you have traveled distances. Other I hear live just around the block, and I'm planning to go over to lunch sometime at your house, if that's okay. But I know that it's important that you have made the time and the decision to come here and get a taste of what your grandchildren are experiencing, and I'm very grateful. I'm going to let you in on an open secret, which is that students do not like to have their parents come visit them on campus when they're in high school. They do love to have their grandparents come to campus. Students, am I right? They're even missing their morning classes today to be with you, and some of them are seniors, and this is their last day of official classes. So the cynics among you may be thinking, yeah, of course, they're getting a free pass from class, right? But as an educator and as somebody who really knows this community, I can tell you sincerely that this is a conscious and heartfelt choice, because they do love school. And they also know that they are responsible for making up what's missed in class. So they have some work to do after, but it's absolutely worth it, because prioritizing their time with you is obviously not a choice. It's an obvious choice for them. It's a no-brainer, so to speak. And as a daughter and a granddaughter myself, I can attest to that. They love you. And I know that they're proud to show off their school and what they love about their school with you. So welcome. All right, grandparents, you know this, I hope, but you hold a very special place in the family hierarchy. And I don't just mean like where you sit on the family tree, but where you stand in people's hearts and minds within the family. You're at the very, very top. And I'm gonna just riff a little bit. For those of you who were here last year, I told you a little bit about my own grandparents, but and I'm happy to share that with you without repeating those stories. But I want to talk to you a little bit about my own experience as a parent with my kids and their relationship to their grandparents. My kids find my parents, their grandparents, absolutely charming. And the things that they get annoyed about with me, they find delightful about my parents. And what's worse is it's usually the things that I find annoying about my parents that they find so delightful. Does this ring a bell to anybody? So, for example, let me give you a couple of examples. I was a waitress when I was in college, and so I know that waitresses understand the menu. They see what people order, and they can give good advice about what is the best thing to select on the menu. My kids hate it when I ask people for recommendations off the menu. So I say, hey, well, you know what, is there anything that's good tonight? Is there anything that, well, the salmon's great. Okay, great, I'll take that. And they're like rolling their eyes, oh my gosh, Mom, can't you make your own decision? You're so embarrassing, right? We go to the restaurant with my dad. He says, what do you recommend? Because of course I got that habit from him as well as from my own experience. And they say, the salmon is great. I'll have the steak. And I roll my eyes at my dad and I'm like, oh my gosh, if you're gonna ask for the recommendation, you should take the recommendation. And my kids roll their eyes at me and say, Mom, let him order what he wants. So, you know, that's just what I find provoking and they find hilarious. One example. Another example is I always get in trouble for offering them advice. Does this ring a bell, students, too? So, for example, I like to talk about Loyola Marymount College. It's a great college, and I really recommend it to my kids that they check it out, because I went there when I was in high school for a summer art program, and I had an amazing time. And they say, Mom, that was in the 1990s. And I'm like, okay, but it's still a beautiful campus. And then my dad will talk to them about his perspective on colleges that are based on his friend from high school's experience in the 1960s, or maybe his perception of their standings in March Madness And they're all on board. They're like, yeah, my grandpa said that was a really good college and we should really check that out. And their grandma is allowed to ask them for dating advice or dating information, right? Which is absolutely a taboo subject for me. It's actually okay, that doesn't bother me because I get a lot of backdoor information about that. So my point is simply that grandparents, you are a gift. You are a gift to the whole family. You are a living and loving source. It's really important, your relationship to us as parents, to your grandkids. And there are so many times when I've said to myself as a parent, like, I'm lucky to become like my parents. And I hear things that I say out loud, like, who loaded the dishwasher? You did it wrong. And then I think, ooh, that sounds just like my mom. She was right. There is a right way to load the dishwasher. And I appreciate that, those kinds of just mundane life lessons have, made their way into my practice, but more importantly, that they are there to help educate, care, tend for, and attend to my kids when I'm not always the right person to do that. And I know that all of you do that for your kids. You come to visit, you help them with their homework, you ask them just the right questions that their parents can't ask, and we are so lucky, especially in this moment of change, of polarization, of stress and mental health issues. The more love and the more perspective that students seek, the better off they are. And that's something that I'm really proud to say we also try to do here at Drew. That the relationships that we build with students, the connections that we try to form are kind of like emulating the grandparent. And creating an environment where teens at this developmental stage where they're pushing away from their parents, when they're trying to work through their own struggles in their own way, it's really important that they have a community of adults that they can turn to where they feel connected and seen and supported and challenged in just the right way. And in this way, I think the teachers also play the role of grandparents. And I'm really pleased that you're here to get a little taste of what that learning experience looks like. And I wanted to share a video that some of our students produced talking about their relationship with their teachers, if you will indulge. I'm Saya Okimoto McKenna. I'm the head of school at Drew. If you feel like somebody cares about you, if you feel like you care about them, and if you feel like you care about what you're learning, that's really a secret sauce at Drew.
I do think that, and I really do believe this, that teachers are what make Drew so unique. I think it's a place that teachers see you to be a full human being and not just a student within the confines of the classroom. And I think that's really, really valuable and rare. And teachers really brought the best out of me, and I feel so lucky to have been in the same classroom as some of these people, learning from these people who I look up to and respect.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just so nice to hear from a student. But I also think that the students are what make Drew Drew. Because, and just thinking about how you and I have had so many points of connection in your time at Drew.
So when I first started Drew, I think I was a very timid person and very shy. So I think one of the biggest reasons why I went to Drew was because of their mission statement, which is find your voice, and really emphasizing public speaking and things like that. Without Drew, I would be, still very timid.
I think that one of the things that really allowed me to unlock my real potential was just being pushed by teachers to try and take the harder classes or search out the subjects that I didn't quite understand or things like that.
Community, this place, this school, these coaches, this staff, they changed my life. Being able to come from a different school and a different team and being welcome, I was already at the school. I haven't known anybody here for more than a year, and I feel like I've been here all my high school life, and maybe I feel like I'm you've been my coach for years.
I think Drew in a lot of ways has been one of the most important schools I'll ever go to in my life. I mean, I found like a joy for learning about things and a purpose and a path that I didn't have before, and I didn't think that I was going to go into law. I also didn't think that I was sort of the kind of person that could go to a school like Stanford. I didn't think that I was the kind of person that could do mock trial, that could stand up in front of people, that could be sure of myself when I spoke. And it's really through Jim and through Drew.
It's extremely humbling and flattering. And I just appreciate knowing that I might mean as much to Madeline as she does to me.
When I think about like where I see you now, the questions that you ask me are like about, I'm thinking about ASB and leadership positions at school. I want to be involved in the mixed student union. I'm starting to think about college. What are scholarship opportunities that I can look into? And like that just shows, oh, I'm gonna get a little teary. How far you've come and the, thank goodness that we don't have to, we get to edit. Yeah, so I can really see you taking ownership of your education. And the other thing that's really awesome is I think that you know what you have to contribute to our community.
I'm just really blessed to be at a school where everyone cares about your grades and learning so much. And it's a school where everyone just wants everyone else to succeed. I feel like they just bring each other up. So I'm really blessed.
I love that video. And I hope that you get to see those kinds of relationships and connections here for yourself. And I know that you share those with your own students here. Did anybody make it to last night's gallery walk and music performance? Yes? So this is one of our flagship events and one of my favorites. And it really showcases the arts program, and I hope I've had a chance to look around in the halls and the mobile bulletin boards to admire this expression of academic excellence and creativity. And for those of you who missed it, do not fear. We actually have students here who are prepared to do a mini showcase for you. And this is just the first of a number of different sharing outs that we've asked students to coordinate. At Drew, student voice and leadership is really centered, and so it's wonderful for them to be able to express to you directly a little bit about the work that they do. Laura, are we good with the musical sample? Okay, great. So we have 3 instrumental and performing arts ensembles that are going to perform today. These are led by our music teachers, Laura Green and Laura Hart. We have a P3 vocal ensemble, a P3 band, and a P7 band with vocalists. And they're going to share 3 pieces that they performed last night. And I'm going to let the students actually do the introductions of their work, if that sounds good. Enjoy.
All right, hello everyone. This is Grandparents Special Friends Day. We are the vocal ensemble for the Drew School. We're about to perform a song written by Anais Mitchell for her album XOA, which was later put into the musical Hadestown. Okay, it's back on. All right. I wrote this arrangement, so yeah, this was arranged by me to be performed by this ensemble. Jordan also wrote an arrangement, which unfortunately we cannot hear right now, but is also very good. Yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Weather ain't the way it was before. Ain't no spring or fall on. It's either blazing hot, freezing cold. Any way that it blows. And there ain't nothing that you can do when the weather takes a turn on you. Set to hurry up and hit the road. Anyway the wind blows. Wind comes up, ooh, do you hear that sound? Wind comes up, ooh, to another town. Ain't nobody gonna stick around when the dark clouds roll. Anyway the wind blows. People turn on you just like the wind to blow. Everybody is a fair weather friend. In the end, you're better off alone. Anyway, the wind blows. When your body aches to lay it down. When you're hungry and there ain't enough to go around. Ain't no lane to which a girl won't go. Anyway, the wind blows. Oh, it comes up. And some time to think. Wind comes up. You would do anything just to fill your belly full of food. Find a bed that you could fall into, where the weather would follow you, wherever you go. Anyway, the wind blows. Anyway, the wind blows.
Morning, everyone. Today we're going to be playing Little Sunflower by Freddie Hubbard, one of the greatest trumpet players. This was released in 1967. It's a small jazz composition known for its warm, reflective mood. Yeah. 1, 2, 1.
How about these musicians? My name's Mark Marks. And this is Laura Green. We're so proud of all of your students and what they've accomplished this year. A lot of really challenging material. And they've all just grown so much. And we realize that you all are a big part of what they've done, and what they've accomplished, and what they'll continue to do. So thank you, and thank you so much for coming out and supporting them today. So please enjoy.
The tune we're about to play for you guys is called Lágrimas Negras. Hope you enjoy.
Aunque tú me has echado el abandono y aunque ya mataste mis ilusiones, en vez de maldecirte con gusto en cómo, en mis sueños te como, en mis sueños te como, de bendiciones. Sufro la inmensa pena de tu extravío. Siento dolor profundo de tu partida. Y lloro sin que sepas el llanto mío. Tiene lágrimas negras, tiene lágrimas negras como mi vida. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir. Un jardinero de amor, siempre una flor se va, otro llega y la cultiva, como los torneros. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir. Tú me quieres dejar, no me quieres sufrir. Dime, mi chica, lo que vas a hacer. Ahora me voy, si tú no te aquí. Espérame, espérame, espérame. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir. Tú me quieres dejar y yo no quiero sufrir. Contigo me voy, mi santa, aunque me cueste morir.
Pretty cool. So impressive. This is just one of the many showcases of student talent and leadership. And as part of our community, we really do want to prioritize student voice. And as I mentioned before, connection and belonging are so central to the way that we expect students to learn and grow. And I'm really excited to introduce another group of student leaders, leaders of an alliance that we call the Shanti Alliance. This group is responsible for multicultural and social justice initiatives at the school. And so it is with a lot of pride and pleasure that I bring to the stage Brianna Smith and Vix Casano.
Thank you, Saya, for that marvelous introduction. Hi, my name is Brianna. I'm a junior and I'm also the president of BSU.
Hi, my name is Vix. I'm also a junior and I will be the next leader of Latino Sonidos. So Shanti Fest, as you all heard, so we're part of the Shanti Alliance and we are the San Francisco chapter. There's currently only 2 in the state of California and it's us and Crystal Springs. And so we follow an overall theme for the Alliance, and this year it was cultivating and growing our spheres of belonging. Shanti Fest is just a day that the Alliance has created to allow our affinity groups to share a special part of their culture they think would benefit the school. And so we had a guest speaker, Andre Bradford, who is a slam poet from Texas, and he shared some lovely poetry with our students that day.
Yes, and so I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the workshops that our affinity groups led this year. So the first one was Chisme Cafecito, which was led by the Latinos Unidos affinity group. And pretty much what they did was they gave everybody like snacks and teas, and they held a space for people to talk about how the current immigration stuff is affecting the Latinos in our community, as well as this administration and how it's affecting that community. The second one is actually my workshop that I led, which is appropriation versus appreciation. It was actually kind of a game show, and pretty much we were just educating the community about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation and what to do when you experience it, or what you can do if you see other people doing it. And the third one, which was Cultural Cuisines by Wasamina, which stands for West African, South Asian, Middle Eastern, and North African. And they pretty much just took a lot of cultural cuisines from those areas and shared it with the students and explained their cultural significance. So as you can see, this Shanti Fest is really just a way for us to have our affinity groups share with the community what makes them so special. And it's really a nice thing to be able to do for the community. Thank you so much.
There were 17 workshops that were led, right? 17 workshops that were all student-led for the entirety of the day. It's super impressive, and thank you so much for sharing that. Another way that we prioritize student voice, and let me just clarify that by voice I don't just mean volume or opinion. I'm really talking about student voice as students being able to inhabit their authentic selves, grow into a sense of self-confidence, self-worth, and purpose, and share those gifts with the community by contributing in kind and making everything that they touch better, which you can see firsthand how that happens. And I want to introduce some student leaders, our president and vice president of the student body, who are going to moderate a panel of student voices just to talk a little bit more about what the Drew learning experience looks like. So I want to welcome Justin Hubler and Lena Wilson to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lena. I'm a senior. Fun fact, it's Justin and I's last panel and last day of school, so we're super happy to be spending it with you. I'm student body president. I spent all 4 years in ASB working to plan events and do things like this and talk to families and prospective students. And I also played soccer, I played golf, I played lacrosse this year, and I started the sports management elective. And I'm going to UC Berkeley next year.
Hi, everybody. I'm Justin. I'm a senior. I am the student body vice president. And like Nina, I've been in ASB all 4 years. I swam for Drew. I played badminton, I played basketball, and I played flag football. And then I also worked in the student cafe. So as you can see, both of us are very involved. I'm also going to Northwestern University next year. So yeah, we just wanted to moderate a panel. We'll ask a few other students questions, and then you'll ask us, and those students questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
So we'd like to invite our panelists up to come sit in these 3 nice chairs that we've put out for you.
Okay, the first question that we have for you guys is what's a passion that you've developed because of Drew?
See, I'll start. I'm Kaya. I'm a sophomore or freshman. I'm going to be a sophomore. One passion that I've developed that's like really increased at my time at Drew is my love of writing. I have a really amazing English. Hello. I have a really amazing English teacher this year, and she's very passionate about her subject, and that has led me to be even more passionate about English and writing and increasing like my love of literacy and reading.
All right, hi, I'm Jack. I am a senior. I'm also graduating. It's our last day. I think Drew has really helped me find a strong love for the law. So I've been a part of our school's mock trial team since my sophomore year. It was founded my sophomore year as well. And through the 3 years, we've had a lot of challenges, but we qualified for county, and this year we made it to semifinals. So it's been a great feat. I'm going to University of Southern California, where I'll be taking classes to start my education in law, which I'm really excited for.
My name is Victoria. I'm a sophomore. And actually, one of the things I was gonna say is similar to that. At Drew, this year I joined mock trial, and shout out, I literally, I was coached by some amazing seniors, including Jack. And I think that our program was, one, it was small and it's newer. And so we've really gotten you really get opportunities to be in a leadership role. And I think it was really, really interesting to just learn about all the different things in a courtroom. And yeah, I think it got me really interested in it. And I think also sciences, I think I've gotten really interested in chemistry this year. And I think that the way that we teach it is, I don't know, I think it's open and I think it's engaging, and I've really gotten for it.
All right, so in the interest of time, we're gonna open up to the grandparents to ask any questions that they might have. And if you don't have any questions, then we have a couple more prepared. But does anybody have a question that they'd like? Yes.
You mentioned there's a new sports management course.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So my freshman year, I came to Drew and I noticed a lack of excitement around sports. And so I created the Sports Photography Club, which trained kids how to use a camera, and they went to sports games and they would take pictures of the sports games, take videos, and then they would get to write an Instagram caption and post it on Instagram for everybody to see. And then my sophomore year, I collaborated with Hayden, who graduated last year, and we created the Sports Management Elective, which is a class that if you sign up, you take every Wednesday for an hour. And it teaches you everything about planning a sports event. The most notable, which happened on Wednesday, was Field Day, an event that we started last year. And all the kids not skip, but they don't go to class. And we go to Kimball, which is a field a couple blocks away. They're divided into advisory groups, and we all play a bunch of sports games with each other. We all have lunch together. It's a big, fun community building event, which hopefully will live on after I graduate. But the goal of sports management was to create more excitement around sports and to teach kids how to plan events, the mascot, dress up in the mascot costume, take photos. They do all the advertising and the poster making for sports events. They do the videos for Instagram. So they work alongside Andrew Heath, who's our athletics director, if they're interested in sports, on how to work in the sports world. It's really inspired my love for sports management, which is what I'll be studying in college to manage teams and manage players. So I recommend for all the students in the room, if they would like to join, we're taking applications for next year. Any other questions? Okay, I have one. What? Oh, yes. Did you have? Yes.
Just wondering whether there's enough grounding in hard sciences like math and calculus, so if you want a choice to do physics, to do mathematical logic, or anything, or even biochemistry, that you have a chance. In other words, in the beginning, are you forced to do enough groundwork that then you can make choices?
When I can answer this. When I came here, I took, I had 8th grade over COVID, and so I didn't learn very much math. And I came here in Algebra 1 and in bio, and I was given the tools, and I took calculus honors this year and stats honors, and I'm going off to major in applied math next year because of the skills that I was able to learn at Drew. So I do think that the math department and the sciences department, they work together, and they really do give you that base that you need and the tools that you need and the problem solving skills that you need. There's a big emphasis on problem solving skills and not just this is how you do this specific problem, but this is how you can approach a problem. Here's how it might appear differently. Sometimes they don't tell you how it might appear differently, but you have the skills to solve the problem either way.
And then on this subject, how bad do you want to do sciences?
Well, I think with math and sciences, like with our maths, we have going into freshman year, you take a placement test, and so there are 3 different math classes that you can take freshman year. So there's algebra 1, there's geometry, and then there's algebra 2. And I went into geometry, and I feel like it definitely, you are given options to really build off of everything. We have a condensed algebra 2 and pre-calculus class, so you can even take calculus earlier in the years if you want to. And then the sciences, I think I was generally very prepared. I think we're a school that starts with biology first, and I think I learned a good amount of biology in middle school. It kind of brought me into it. And then this year I really loved chemistry, and I think we have it flow nicely into it. We also, my freshman year, there was a course, Climate Academy, and I took that. And so it was, my biology course was really focused, especially on environmental topics and stuff like that. And starting sophomore year, we give honors choices for sciences, so you can take honors chemistry. And then next year, I'm interested, we have an anatomy and physiology class, which sounds really interesting. And then in all the sciences, there's advanced topics in chemistry, and there's an honors in those. I think honestly, science is something that we do really well. I'm very happy about the amount of choices that we have, and that you can take advanced topics in whatever your favorite science was, or even focus on multiple. And now we're doing like other classes as well. I think our science program is pretty good.
Yeah, I think another thing that's really incredible about Drew is that they really are teaching you how to build off of your education from the prior year, and they're teaching you how to think through a problem. I took advanced topics in chemistry this year, which is an advanced honors chemistry class, the hardest class I've ever taken. But I learned some really, really valuable things, and like chemistry really is explaining how the world works, just like physics. Most recently, I just finished my final lab, where we designed a lab on how to recycle and turn PLA, which is a biodegradable plastic, into a cleaning solution so that it doesn't become toxic waste. And so we have really incredible hands-on science experiences, and science classes, and the teachers are really supportive. And they're really teaching you how to think through a problem and create your own kind of pathway in the sciences. And, Anybody want to add?
I came from a middle school that we technically had science, but there wasn't a lot of actual science happening. For basically all of middle school, is this online program where you basically just clicked buttons, and that was it. Like, I didn't know really any science. And my mom is a general surgeon, so she knows all the science stuff, but she hadn't taught it all to me. So coming in as a freshman in biology, I was a little scared because I didn't know what it was going to be like, and I didn't know most of like the general scientific principles that is expected to know as a freshman in high school. But Dr. Van is our one of our lead biology teachers, really took me under his wing and helped me. And I'm doing really well in the class. I'm loving biology. Next year we have a prep period, and I'm trying to drop my prep to take zoology as well as chemistry, because it's really grown my love of the sciences. And I think it really shows and speaks to how Drew can really, even if you don't have much of a background or a knowledge in a subject, they can lift you up and encourage you and bring you to excel in that area.
Yeah, adding on to that, I'm going to talk more about just education in general. I think what Drew has what they really have been able to master is the art of having a foundation versus being able to diversify your classes. So when you come in, you will have to take a certain amount of math classes, a certain amount of science classes, and you have to follow that course. But once you get to a certain grade, which is around sophomore, junior year, you can really diversify what classes you take. So for example, for our science classes, we have anatomy, marine biology, biotechnology. We have zoology. We have more than 4 physics and chemistry classes. And that's just for science. We have so many other language classes and English classes that I've been able to take. And I think that what makes it so interesting is the fact that I've been able to dip my feet into every single topic and been able to find what I wanted to do because of that. And the way that we have that foundation makes it so that we are able to lead ourselves into those, into trying those new classes without taking any major risks.
All right, well, that is all the time that we have, but thank you, panelists, for talking with us today. If you have any other things you want to talk about, your grandchildren can probably answer, but we can as well. But thank you for being here. I'm going to pass it on, I think, back to Saya, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rena. Thank you, Justin. I want to thank all of you for your kind attention and interest. And of course, I echo the idea that talking to your own grandchildren, of course, they are the experts in their own experience and they have lots of stories to share. So I'm going to invite us in just a minute to transition back out to the courtyard. And we have conjured a beautiful day just for you. And so that is a lovely circumstance. And we're gonna invite some other students, the leaders of our robotics team. And these are students who have really forged this co-curricular initiative over 4 years, and I'll let them speak to their success, but it's pretty stunning. They're gonna do a robotics demonstration out on the courtyard. We're gonna have a little time for you to talk and interact with each other. And then we will dismiss you for either a campus tour or lunch. So how does that sound? Yeah, great. So let's move outside and enjoy this beautiful day.